So these are some data about how often the legislature expresses its opinion. There are three types of legislative measures that are used in the California state legislature. They're bills, constitutional amendments, and resolutions. There are also three types of resolutions called House, concurrent, and joint resolutions. Now, while some resolutions are used to elect officers and adopt rules, the vast majority of these resolutions are simply expressions of opinion by the legislature. For example, joint resolutions express legislative opinion on federal matters, or they might be designating something. For example, a House or a concurrent resolution designates Women's Health Month, for example. Now, resolutions only require adoption by one House in the case of a House resolution or an HR or an SR, or they require approval or adoption by both houses. That's in the case of a joint resolution, SJR or AJR, or a concurrent resolution, an SCR or an ACR, but no action by the governor. Now, while bills create statutes and constitutional amendments once adopted by the voters can add, amend, or repeal provisions of the state constitution, resolutions don't have any force or effect of law. Nonetheless, the California legislature often considers hundreds of resolutions during each and every 2 year session. So I put together a list of the number of House, joint, and concurrent resolutions each 2 year legislative session over the past 16 years, or 8 sessions. So in the 2023-24 session, there were 129 HRs, 229 ACRs, and 19 AJRs for a total of 377 assembly resolutions. The Senate had 125 SRs, 170 SCRs, and 18 SJRs for a total of 313 Senate resolutions, or a total between the two houses of 690 resolutions. In the 2021-22 session, there were 134 HRs, 215 ACRs, and 36 AJRs. So total assembly resolutions were 385. There were 104 SRs, 122 SCRs, and 16 SJRs for a total of 242 Senate resolutions and a total of 620 resolutions for the two houses. In the 2019-20 session, there were 105 HRs, 200 ACRs, and 36 AJRs for a total of 341 assembly resolutions. The session also had 90 SRs, 94 SCRs, and 14 SJRs for a total of 198 Senate resolutions. There were a total number of resolutions for both houses of 539. In the 2017-18 session, there were 125 HRs, 286 ACRs, and 52 AJRs for a total of 463 assembly resolutions. There were also 127 SRs, 166 SCRs, 30 SJRs for a total of 323 Senate resolutions, or a grand total of 786 resolutions for both houses. In the 2015-16 session, there were 64 HRs, 204 ACRs, 46 AJRs for a total of 314 assembly resolutions. There were also 89 SRs, 166 SCRs, and 29 SJRs for a total of 284 Senate resolutions and a total of 598 resolutions between the two houses. In the 2013-14 session, it had 56 HRs, 175 ACRs, and 54 AJRs for 285 assembly resolutions. The session also had 63 SRs, 141 SCRs, and 34 SJRs for 238 Senate resolutions and 523 resolutions between the two houses. In the 2011-12 session, there were 43 HRs, 168 ACRs, and 47 AJRs for 258 assembly resolutions. There were also 38 SRs, 105 SCRs, and 30 SJRs for 172 Senate resolutions, and a total of 430 resolutions between the two houses. And finally, in the 2009-10 session, there were 37 HRs, 187 ACRs, and 47 AJRs for 271 assembly resolutions, 53 SRs, 126 SCRs, and 36 SJRs for a total of 215 Senate resolutions and 486 resolutions between the two houses of the California State Legislature.